So we need to take a real moment right now and just sit here and talk about the news that we just received for Helldivers 2 most recent update. Now this news is what I want to see from a big update, for example, like their Escalation of Freedom update that they just, have been hyping up. The devs have finally started to listen to the community and are reversing the nerfs, are changing the enemy AI, are changing all, just like the whole game, it feels like in general. They're finally making the guns more effective and feel like they all should. Just to name a few, the launchers, you guys need to go watch this. After you get finished watching this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and all that. You know what I'm saying? You guys need to go watch their most recent dev update. The launchers will finally be doing big damage, and same with all the other heavy weapons like the LMGs and the railgun. The railgun's finally back to its former glory, like they said. They're changing the laser guns to having no recoil, feeling like a real laser gun. The launchers will be doing big, hefty damage like a launcher should. Explosives will finally be acting like explosives. You're not going to feel like you're just throwing a little pebble at these, these freaking Terminids and the robots, and I haven't played Helldivers in a while. I can't really remember what the robots are called, but you know what I'm trying to say. The flamethrower is finally back. It's back to being an effective tool and not just feeling like you're just tickling the enemy. And my personal favorite update is the Marksman rifles and snipers. When I tell you guys, I felt so happy hearing them talk about the update to the Marksman and the sniper rifles. I can't even explain the smile that came on my face. Being able to finally have a real, almost you could say, sniper / marksman class in Helldivers is gonna be so much fun to just be able to sit back there and, as they described it, just headshot after headshot after headshot, just popping the aliens from a distance. It's gonna bring such a even bigger diversity to the game that hasn't really been present as of late, because lately Helldivers has just been finding what hasn't been nerfed, finding the meta, and just sticking with that until it inevitably gets nerfed or changed again. And it's just, I feel like that, to me personally, is what made Helldivers become stale and just really boring after a while. But the devs have finally listened, and it couldn't have come at a better time with, Space Marine 2 coming out. And by the way, before you guys murder me again in the comments, man, my last video on Space Marines, I know lots of you guys were saying, stop comparing it. It's not the same game. And I'm going to take an L here. I'm going to take an L. You guys were right. Upon getting my hands on Space Marine, it is a very different game. But I will stand a little bit on my word that they're similar in content / story, where you're a soldier fighting off hordes of interstellar enemies and stuff like that. That's, I guess, where the similarities really end. But nonetheless, because of those similarities, these games will always be talked about similarly in the same conversation and will always be compared, especially by a casual audience, which is why I brought up the comparison in that last video I made, where I feel like if Helldivers didn't get their act together and didn't fix their game, it will inevitably really affect the game, especially with right now the way it was going and the way the player base was just really getting tired of the game, me included. But with this new update, they have finally brought back the hope. There's even a whole new saying going on in the community of it went from "we're so done" to "we're so back." And honestly, the amount of bravado that brings to me right now is insane. They are really bringing this game back, and if they do this right, Helldivers 2 is definitely going to be here for a long while to come, and will be a blast just like it was when it first dropped. Now in this next segment, I want to talk about the enemy changes they're making. They're changing the enemies a lot. The Chargers especially, they touched on for a good while, which to me, I'm glad they did, because the Chargers were honestly becoming one of the most tiresome / boring enemies to me to fight. They're changing the AI in general just to have the enemies act a lot smarter. The Chargers are going to be less annoying to deal with. They're still going to deal hefty damage to you, which, makes sense as a Charger, but we can finally find different ways to deal damage to them and take them out, just as they can take us out, which I feel is a very necessary change. The robots are getting lots of changes too. The Hulks are no longer having, the rockets. They're going to have, I believe, automated turrets this time instead of, the rocket arm. And then the robots from now on are going to have to reload their rockets. and they will have limited reloads to all the enemies with rockets when fighting the robots, which to me is such a good change, because it felt like fighting the robots was just such a chore and just getting ragdolled 24/7, rocket after rocket after rocket. And this change is finally gonna make it so, you know, it's more fun. It doesn't just feel like you're just walking in there getting ragdolled, getting every missile tossed at you in the book. And also just it adds some more, I guess you could say, in a game like this, realism with, you know, enemies having to reload. And even though the guns in general are getting better and are getting buffed, like almost every single gun almost has been touched in this update and has been buffed in some sort of way or just changed in some sort of way, I love that they also balanced out the enemies along with it. It truly does feel like the entire game is just changing from just becoming stale to now becoming an almost like completely different game from release, which is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's great. It's great. That's all I can say. Like, it's great. Helldivers is most definitely back, and I'm all here for it. Space Marine is definitely also here to stay. I definitely believe it's not going anywhere. It's definitely gonna have its audience, and I'm also there. A video should be coming out here soon of me on Space Marine. I'll give you guys my full opinion on it and how I'm feeling on it so far. But I'm so happy to see that it's coming back, guys. When it comes to the dev team, I truly believe that this is a dev team that, to me, has their head on straight. You can tell from the dev update where they were making little jabs and little jokes about where they've been going wrong, where they've messed up. They kept making jokes about like, oh, as it should have been, as it should be, or oh, we're back even though we were never here or we never left. It's a dev team that definitely has the community's voice in their ear and is paying very close attention, and that to me is a really exciting prospect that shows it's a dev team that is here for the fans and here to listen. It might have taken them a while, it might have taken a little bit longer than, you know, all of us expected. We were a bit too harsh on them. At the same time, the game was going in a very negative way, but look at them now. They've persevered, they've pushed through, and they're bringing the game back, and it's just, you know, you love to see it. You love to see it. The fun with the homies is coming back. The getting together all night, you know, playing together with the friends, having a blast, just having some good laughs on the game is finally coming back, and I'm all here for it. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Just wanted to make this short video to really talk about how excited I am for Helldivers 2 coming back. Hopefully, you know, if they play their cards right and this update really is what it sounded like it's gonna be one hell of a time. So yeah, this has been it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Love you guys. Hope you guys have a safe day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Like you want to stand under a big enemy and just flame upwards.
Like, you're a helldiver in a war zone. Nothing is a safe spot. So you just like go for glory.
Go for glory.
Why not?